Yes, sir.
Good evening. I'd first like to thank each one of you for coming down here and sharing your views with us. I think that's important in the process. My question is, what do each of you know about public employee rights and due process?
Public employee or employer?
Employee rights.
And how do you want to?
Okay, if
Since
you could start,
you want
Ms.
to just
Ms.
go in the
Coppola,
same
sir.
order since Mr. Graska started, you want to just do the same thing and each of us go?
For this portion, that's fine with me if you're in agreement. Mr. Grauska, would you?
Okay. Again, your question was in reference to employment rights
Public employee
Public
rights
employee
and the due
rights.
process.
and due process. No, I understand where you're going with that question. That's in reference to, of course, we're talking about wanting to reduce salaries and things of that nature. I don't have an answer for that question immediately. I will find the answer to that question. But in my aim in looking at the budget and looking at the salaries that seem to be out of control, don't seem to be on the employee end of it. They seem to be on more on the management end of it. So my interest is more in that. But I understand the point that renegotiation and things of that nature are important, and that would be required in order to be able to change the salary and benefit packages for the employees. Additionally, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. But additionally, more concerned with the management, not as concerned with the employee end of it. And the point being is I would rather keep people employed than to tell them, sorry, we have to start laying people off. And I think that would be a more appropriate way to look at it. And that's why I'd consider, of course, trying to renegotiate some of those contracts.
Ms. Coppola?
One thing I do know about employees is that they do have the right to fair and just wages. I know that they that the right to fair and just wages. I also know that there are steps in process that protect the employee, like unions and things like that, and that as far as employees, that you do have to work with them and come to an agreement because they work for you, and you want everyone to work well and have a good business relationship. So.
Well, having been a public employee myself and retired from that, I am a strong supporter of employee rights, and I believe in absolute due process. And if you're talking about the context of how employees are treated or how they are regulated or how they are dealt with by the city, I do believe that they are entitled to due process. My comments with regard to salaries and budgets are similar to Mr. Graska's. I think we have to look there. I'm absolutely not in favor of taking away benefits that have been given to, vested with the public employees. That is a violation of due process, in my opinion. I actually think it's against the law anyway. But I think employees do enjoy, public employees do have rights and should enjoy due process.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question, sir. I think we have time for one more